talking about yellow flags, there are some yellow flags that are just described straight as yellow flags. I call them straight yellow flags. My language. Now, there are some that they were actually your red flags, but in the course of discussing, you saw this thing in this person, and in the course of discussing, the person has now started improving. Okay. So it stops being a red flag. It now becomes a yellow flag. That's how it happens with some people. And there are some yellow flags that are there just like outright yellow flags. But that is where yellow flags actually stem from. You are dealing with this thing maybe before. If they say rate this person on 1 to 10, this guy na 2 over 10, no. But by the time you now told him, and I did not know, some people can just be innocently wrong. Yeah. I did not know. That's how my daddy used to do. My own daddy does not used to do that one. And they go, okay, I will try now. I will try. Just be patient with me. I will try. And you get to notice that maybe after 2-3 months, you're asked to reassess the same person. Let's be honest. So this guy is no longer 2 over 10. No. He's now 5 over 10. Now, the risk involved in that flag is reducing. At that point, you can begin to see it as a yellow flag. Okay. But now, what are the other things that are not so serious, but they are still flags? Those are yellow flags. For example, you have a guy who he has a very good relationship with the mom. Very good relationship. The truth is this: he's going to like you. He's going to treat you well. But then, if for every decision, he's going to fall back to the mom, that yellow flag, if you are not careful, may start becoming a red flag. That is not a very good one.
So those are mommy boy category.
They're not a very good one. He needs to deal with it. It's not something that you don't say because of that you want to run away. But sometimes it even falls with the women too. Yeah. Any small thing, they want to go and meet their daddy. You don't say because of that you want to run away. You just know that this is the person that he or she has looked up to for years. So now it becomes your responsibility now to now be able to win their trust so that they can also look up to you. So that's why it's something like that may not necessarily be a red flag. It's a subtle thing. It's something that is not so bad, but it's not as if you allow too much of it, it may not start affecting you. So that's one. So I still say relationship with other people matters a lot. If somebody has too many friends and you're in a relationship with such a person, you need to also be careful. Why? That means that they have a lot of people to give their attention to. So they have to try to find a way to log you into their itinerary to find attention for you. If you are a die-hard attention seeker, that may not be a good one for you. But that kind of person may also need to tone down. For the person to have maybe a number of friends, that means the person is probably likable. He's a likable person. Everybody wants him around. But he also should be able, or she also should be able to define that, no, this one is my relationship. That's where you prioritize. You should be able to tell yourself, this is my relationship. It needs time to grow. It needs time to do well. So with all those other friends or acquaintances, you shared your time. It's as simple as that. It's not something that you can see that it's not so bad a thing. That's why it is a yellow flag. Now, let's look at this side that may have to do with finances. Okay. Somebody who is unemployed, it doesn't mean the person cannot be loved. The person can be loved. But what effort is the person making to get a job? Because whether it is the man or it is the woman, we both need to be financially stable to run a good home. Exactly. Now, still talking on that, if somebody keeps losing his job or keeps losing her job, then there could also be something there. Why should she always lose her job? Why should he consistently be losing? Even if he's getting back another job, the ones he's losing, why? These are things that one may need to look into and address. Is it that you don't have proper conduct at work? Is it that you don't carry yourself well? Or those things that you may need to begin to look at. Yeah. So these are things that one will need to. Before I leave finances, let me also pick this one too. If somebody is constantly in debts, That is also another thing to watch out for, especially when there is no clear-cut way of paying the debts. We need to be careful with such people, because sometimes people will tell you that if you know, if you do business, so apologies that I'm speaking pidgin. I just had to do that. That if you can't owe, you can't run businesses. Yes, to some extent we may want to agree that okay, you may need to take loans, you may need to have some financial support to grow things. Yes, we have heard of a lot of business people who will come out and tell us that they took loans, and their heads had to work well. They had to keep straight and very sound records to make sure that they're able to pay back their loans and the business is able to come alive. But in the course of them owing those debts, what are they doing? Somebody borrows money to run a business, another person takes a loan to buy a car. They give two people car loan at work. One guy buys the car, the other guy takes the money and starts a business and says, okay, I'll risk this business. If he survives, good for me. If he does not survive, I would have learnt probably a way to do it right the next time. The two of them are owing. But why are they owing? These are things that we may need to look at. Somebody who talks about family too is somebody one may also look at how does he talk about family. Somebody talks about family and talks about it respectfully, then okay, you know you are good with the person. If somebody talks about family and or somebody doesn't even, you're going out with somebody and there is no, okay, when are you meeting my mom? When are you meeting my dad? Okay, I want to meet your mom. I want to meet your dad.
Things like that.
These are some of the things that we may also need to look at. It may not be so much of a problem, but you also need to find out how does this person relate with his family members that would bring in such a thing. One that everybody laughs at. Everybody laughs at it, and I'm sure a whole lot of people have experienced it. We need to go on a date, or we need to go out, or we need to do something, and this person is always late. Always late. I know this is more from the female gender, but there are some men too. 2 weeks ago, a lady was complaining to me, excuse me, sir, anytime we come late to church, it is this man that caused it. If I wake him at 5 a.m., he will say it's too early. You'll be fuming. If he gets up at 6 o'clock, he will not enter the bathroom and he will not stay there for 30 minutes. It was the woman that was complaining about the man this time. So sometimes it goes both ways. Yeah. But you know, like we always will do, anytime you want to go out with a lady and you're supposed to leave your house 8 o'clock, tell her, we are leaving 7 o'clock. Oh. So that by the time she takes an extra hour, you know that you are still on time. But it's always not a very good thing. We should learn to respect time. And we should also learn to value each other's time. When somebody spends time with you, value their time. Make it like, when this person is leaving me, what will he say he or she has benefited from the time that we have spent together? That's when you have respect for somebody's time. Now you're also in a relationship with somebody and the person is saying, my ex is crazy, my ex is mad, my ex is this, my ex. You need to be a little careful. Sometimes they may be right. Even when they seem right, I still have a problem. Do you know what my problem is? Why do you keep choosing people who end up being crazy? Is it that you don't have a good sense of judgment of somebody? Before you even walk up to somebody at all, sometimes you may need to even look at the person. You may just want to be friends without any strings attached. And by being friends, you may want to pick out one or two things. Okay, can it not? Then before you even say relationship. Yeah, I know people will meet somebody for the first time and they're saying love at first sight.
Does it work that way?
Some people have said it does work. I can mention names of people who have openly come out to say, for us it was love at first sight. And today they are still together.
Oh, nice.
Today they are still together. But the truth is the fundamentals should still be taken care of. If you see somebody for the first time and you like the person and it is doing you like love at first sight, my advice, become friends first. Then before you now shoot your shots.
Exactly.
before you now shoot your shot, so that it doesn't end up a mess for you. So it does, we should also look at commitments.
Okay.
You should also look at commitments. Commitments, one thing is it grows. So even if you're starting up a relationship and the person is not, maybe you are expecting the person to exude some level of energy, and the person is not exuding that energy immediately, it may not necessarily mean a bad thing. It may not necessarily mean you need to cut it off. That's why it's for me, it can be grouped as a yellow flag. But as it progresses, is this person improving? As it progresses, is the person improving? As it progresses, is this person improving? So that is, people have told us a whole lot of times that, look, not be saying I saw I like her the first time. But we just found out that we were growing. That is the most important thing. Are we growing? So that becomes very important for us. Now, there is this point I like to say. I would not just only like to say, I want to warn. It sounds funny, but it may be also important. Does this person have hobbies? If you are with somebody who has hobbies, how well do they rate their hobbies? Somebody who loves football. We need to see, there is something very important that we need to talk about. I'm sorry we can't see because I have to go and play football.
Or I have to watch Champions League, Premier League.
Jenny, you need to watch it. That's where priorities come in. Priorities at those times come in. Now, for somebody who has hobbies, some of them may have very interesting hobby that by the time you join them in the hobby, you're also catching fun. So that means that apart from sitting down to do your love talks, there is also another thing that gives you guys fun. Now, one advantage of it is this: for people who do not believe in premarital sex, you have another activity that can engage you and you will still be happy that you went to meet with the person.
This is very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Now, for somebody who does not have a hobby, wahala dey. Do you know why I say wahala dey? Now, they may have the tendencies of becoming obsessive. They may not necessarily become obsessive, but they may have the tendency. Do you know why? They are going to now spend all their time with you. The person is now saying, okay, I love you, I want to spend all my time with you. That is when you now pack your fishing hook. Babe, I like to fish you. You're beginning to look for trouble.
Exactly.
But you have a hobby. You like to swim. I'm going to swim more. But I came to spend time with you. I want to spend time. You now want to swim. Is it that the swimming is more important than me? It sounds funny. But the truth is, I will advise everybody, there must be something you do also catch fun doing. So that even if the person is not there, you can catch your fun by yourself. And you can also invite the person, okay, can you learn this thing? Can we learn this thing together? Can we do? Funny enough, we may even sit down and we talk together. And in the course of talking, we can talk ourselves into a common hobby. Maybe a hobby you never had and a hobby I never had. And we talk ourselves into a common hobby and we go out and do it. Enjoy it. Before now, I am not a fan of going to the cinemas. It's not as if it's bad though. I can watch film in the house, but I'm not really a fan of going to the cinemas. After a while, myself and my wife, we started talking ourselves into going to the cinemas. And every time we now have together, let's go and watch this movie now. Sometimes it's me that will pick the movie. Sometimes it's her that will pick the movie. That means that you can still share a fun activity together.
So thank you so much, sir. It's been so wonderful having you here today. Personally,
thank you for having me.
There are a lot of things I need to unlearn and some to relearn again. So I guess you've heard basically almost everything you said here today. The red flag, the yellow flag, we need to watch it. You need to, at this point, I need to speak Niger English. You have to shine your eye. It's time to shine your eye. Don't neglect any of these things that he has told us today because they are really, really important and vital. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. So if you still haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, just hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Give our video a thumbs up. And we love you. Thanks for watching this episode. And do stay inspired always with First Culture. It's a bye from the